Welcome back, folks. It is Jafer, and today we're going to take a look at a brand new keyboard, the first 60% keyboard from HyperX themselves, and I think it's definitely something that's going to draw a lot of attention for those looking for that small form factor. So let's dive right in. What we have here is HyperX's first 60% keyboard, the Alloy Origin 60. The previous super limited boards that we saw in 2020 were simply just Ducky 1.2 minis with that HyperX partnership. Now the Alloy 60 it comes in at a cool $99.99, and this is an all aluminum 61 switch keyboard weighing in at a very satisfying and hefty 744 grams. You can definitely feel the density overall, and it just feels like a very premium keyboard at that $99.99 price point. Now this is a floating switch design, so what I mean by that is it's going to have that low profile look with the exposed switches compared to something like the Drop Alt high profile or my Mark 65 here, where you're not going to see the switches, you're only going to see the keycaps. That really comes down to personal preference. There is no advantage in performance or anything like that. It's all purely aesthetic. Along with your keyboard, you're going to get a really nice USB-C braided cable. This is not going to be along the lines of that super stiff cable you're going to find from, say, Razer or Corsair. This is going to offer a lot of flexibility, so if you need to wire manage, you can do so with ease with this. You do also get two ABS keycaps. One is going to be in a topo design, as well as an escape key of the HyperX logo and a keycap puller. Underneath, you're going to see three different angles that you can work with the feet that are included on the bottom. Standard, you have your 3 degrees. Then you also have the option of a 7 degree and 11 degree angle. On the left is going to be your USB-C port. That CNC cutout where that USB-C cable is. I noticed on my copy that it did seem very snug, and I won't lie to you, I felt a little nervous putting some muscle into that plug to get it in, but lo and behold, everything does work. The keycaps are double shot PBT with beautiful shine through and not as roughly textured as Razer's own PBT keycaps, and that I also welcome. While Razer's keycaps were definitely comfortable and I had no problem using them for any application, I kind of feel that HyperX's keycaps here are a lot more smoother to the effect of your ABS, but it is all PBT, and I do like that a lot. It's going to offer a very durable plastic, so there isn't going to be any shine through at any point. There are side printed legends to help you navigate that function layer that opens up the 60% keyboard to that full size keyboard by simply holding down the function key and hitting the corresponding button with whatever you need to be. I do like that the arrow keys are right next to the function key, as opposed to other 60% where they're usually the I, J, K, L, I believe, right around in that territory, and it just makes you do some weird hand configurations, and I'd rather not have to dance around with my hands on a 60%, so I do like that it's all preset to be very easily to get to. Underneath these keycaps are HyperX's own red linears. They're very smooth, incredibly fast for a standard switch. I didn't have any issues with them. There is that minor scratching that I feel you're going to come to expect with a production board, but it's not anything that makes it feel like you're just using an overall cheap switch at all. I do like HyperX's switches a lot. Whatever they're sourcing them from or working with the manufacturer on, they're doing a stand-up job, and these red linears are a testament to that. And what's nice is that these are just your standard cherry stem style switches, so if you want to customize the board to your heart's content, you are more than welcome to do so, as that bottom row is standard with no limitations. The top housing is transparent with a heightened LED to offer really good uninterrupted RGB shine. I do like this a lot compared to your standard setup with LEDs being maybe on the PCB, as it just does offer incredible amount of shine through. My issue is going to be the bottom housing. I prefer a more neutral color so it doesn't stand out. It's kind of bothersome if I'm looking at it from a pure aesthetic standpoint. I would like to see them venture into their next generation of switches to be more of a neutral tone, not so aggressive with the red or the aqua colors, so on and so forth. And don't let the idea of purchasing a keyboard into 2021 being based solely on your standard mechanical switches be something to be of any concern. These are durable for 80 million clicks. They're not going to have that brand new technology such as Razer's optical switches or anything like that, but these are extremely durable. They are reliable. They didn't have any impact negatively while I was gaming, and overall you're going to feel right at home using these if you've used other linear switches. And to be honest, I'm kind of just nitpicking with that red housing. Those aren't really an issue with me, unlike these stabilizers. Oh boy. Given that the Fanatic Streak 65 comes in at only $10 more, it does come with fully lubed stabilizers, which are some of the best on a production board. Hell, even GK61 models have properly lubed stabilizers, and those are as cheap as $60. HyperX really dropped the ball on these stabilizers. On my particular copy, there is a little bit of lube, but it's literally almost like on the part of the stem that is never going to make contact with the stabilizer housing. It's overall a really weird and huge point that they missed out on. The Ingenuity software by HyperX is going to be part of the Windows Store application. So it's not something you just download simply off of their website. You actually go to the Windows Store to do so. It's kind of hit or miss with some people. It doesn't necessarily bother me too much, although I would like the option of your standard program. Either way though, you're going to see your connected device on the left-hand side. You're going to be able to adjust your RGB effects. While it is rather limited, keep that in mind. Hopefully they'll be able to update that down the road with more features, as RGB in this day and age is definitely something that people either love or hate, but having more options is always a great thing. Of course, you can adjust your color. You can change the angle at which it's rotating. You can also adjust the speed. Of course, your brightness and your game mode, which will disable any particular key that you're looking to block if you have a habit of accidentally clicking on any of those during a game session. And then of course you have 3 different presets that you can save those onto the board itself. All in all, the software, it's not that in-depth and it's not that exciting, but it gets the job done. So that about wraps things up. I think that this is clear evidence that HyperX is listening to the community. They've made those small improvements from their older Ally Origin keyboards on the 60% to really make it a competitor within that small form factor market. Now, hopefully we'll see in the next installment some of the quirks and nitpicking that I did have on this keyboard also get looked at or addressed. Although, at the end of the day, all I can say is that HyperX is no longer that one-trick pony of just making really great gaming headsets. They've obviously made an impact with the Pulsefire Haste mouse, and now with the Ally Origin 60. They're definitely a competitor within the gaming mouse and keyboard ring. Until next time, I am Jafer. I do appreciate HyperX sending this out for review. Of course, as you can tell by now, this had no impact on my impressions with it. And definitely join the Discord. I'll leave a link below if you have any questions regarding the keyboard. Until next time, you guys stay safe.